Draymond Green, give him a little credit.
A little taste.
Maybe a little taste of almost credit. The Kings did give a game last night, right, at Oracle Arena. KD scored 28, Steph poured in 36, but Buddy Hield and the Kings, they kept coming. And after the game, even KD sort of gave them a little room, said they should be reckoned with soon. Just 12 points, so they have 4 games against them.
KD to the Kings?
KD is not going to the Sacramento Kings. Just stop. This is what Kyrie Irving is
We're just
upset
having
about.
fun. It's Friday.
Head-to-head, even though the Warriors have won all 4 games, if you look at that, right, just 12-point spread over those 4 games. It's one of the slimmest margins in a regular game season sweep ever in the NBA. The Kings are currently 9th out west. So if this ends up being the first-round playoff series, do we just say sweep, we write it in, or do you think this could be 5 games, maybe 6 games?
I think this could be a fun series.
Right?
I think the Sacramento Kings are building some momentum. They're building confidence. And for some reason, these young teams, the Milwaukee Bucks, the Sacramento Kings, the Golden State Warriors are having trouble with those teams. So I don't see this as a rivalry yet, but they got to be looking at this team in their rearview mirror. You
know what's hard, Rach? It's hard to beat the Warriors in the regular season. You know what's harder? I mean,
was it Draymond who said there's 82-game teams and there's 16-game teams and we're a 16-game team?
They're actually both, to be honest with you. I respect what the Kings are doing. I was one of the people that thought they wouldn't win 20 games this year. I didn't like almost any of their moves, and they've been awesome. And they've got 4 or 5 really exciting young players. And I am really happy that they're playing well, but they're not in the Warriors league yet. I would love to see a competitive first-round series, but and that just shows you they're just good enough to lose to them. I mean, I don't want to be mean, but that's just true. They're just good enough to lose to them close.
I just see this as a young team that don't know how to win yet. They are closing the gap on the Warriors. They're a youth, their athleticism. They're just building confidence.
But it's a big gap, Scottie. They close it, but it's a big gap.
Well, it is a big gap in terms of what the Warriors have accomplished and what they have to do in terms of playoff. But I've been in this situation before, and you don't like running up against a young team that's very unpredictable, and that's what the Sacramento.
But you always beat them.
Interesting.
But you always beat those young teams.
Struggle with a few of them.
Look,
you didn't struggle that much.
It would not be.
I grew up in Cleveland. I saw.
You saw that the struggles was not that real. Look, it would not be our continuing series, as the Kings term, without a little drama. And one of our lead heroes in the Sacramento Kings world these days is Buddy Hield. We showed you earlier. He passed up that potential game-winning three-pointer, just over 6 seconds left. He chose to drive. He ended up missing, right? And look, here's Hield after the game. He's going to explain his part of it. Then we'll talk about Dave Joerger.
Yeah, I should have pulled that. I should have pulled it, but I should have pulled it. No excuse.
Okay, I'm going to make a little excuse for him, okay? And we showed the highlights earlier in the show. He made a deep three, and his coach got upset with him. He made a second three from the corner, and his coach got upset with him. This was all within...
wide open. Wasn't the one in the corner wide open?
So that's the first one, right? And then the second... Look, they're arguing about it, and he's like, I made the shot, though.
Doug Christie's like, what are we talking about?
I made the shot, right? So, yeah, I get it, right? That he makes this.
That first one was not a good shot.
KD, by the way, is like, why is your coach yelling at you?
It's always a good shot if you make it.
Thank you very much, Scottie Pippen.
A good shot.
KD is sitting there, and he can't believe it. Then he makes the shot in the corner. And again, they get into it with his head coach. So, yes, by the way, when he says, I should have pulled up, I don't know what came over me, I know what came over him. What came over him is he just got yelled at twice. So, yes, he's going to freeze up and try to drive when he shouldn't.
Scottie just referenced that they're young and they don't necessarily...
They don't know. I mean, and maybe it was bad judgment, but if it go in, it's still a good shot. Yeah. And in the situation where he didn't take the shot, it's just he's young. He's going through those growing pains. And secondly, he's letting the coach dictate how he play. And as a player mature, the coach is not going to be able to dictate which shot he's going to take on a game winner or whatever. He's going to make those decisions on his own.
Well, imagine if Steve Kerr got upset with, Steph Curry when he took a slightly contested 30-footer. We never would have had this far. So I think, Buddy Hield is super talented. He's a big shot maker. He hasn't really played in this type of game in the NBA. Really, he's never played in a game like this in the NBA. But he's done it in college. I know he can be a big shot maker. So maybe Joerger has to learn how to use this group too.
Steve Kerr has joked that he has found himself clapping on the bench saying, good shot, good shot. And then he looks at the film later and he's like, I am a coach of basketball clapping that someone 40 feet from the basket and I'm saying good shot, but it goes in, to your point. And by
Bad
the way,
judgment, good
shot. Right. Dave Joerger has done a fantastic job with that team.
Coach of the year
He's a
candidate.
good coach. He's had great relationships with a lot of players. So I don't know what was going on there. I would not use that to paint a broader brush of Dave Joerger. But in this case, it seems like he got into his own player's head. And that is a shame, right?
But live and learn, I guess.
Don't want that.